Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?
It's the wild, wild life. It is Mark Slaughter with the band Slaughter right here on the Classic Metal Show. And just before that, we heard probably one of my favorite Slaughter tunes from Revolution called Tongue and Groove. And, well, speaking of the tongue of my groove, I don't even know if that's a good intro. But
I don't like that at all. Can we start over? Jesus.
Well, there has been innuendo that some of our call-in guests are always interested in a pillowy man.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in putting my tongue in your groove.
Well, I didn't say you're putting your tongue to my groove.
Yuck.
Nice. Yeah, I usually come up with something kind of clever, but that one was a little tough one to deal with.
Yeah, that I don't know. Now all I can think of is you with the fucking part in my ass hair. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, no kidding. Well, anyway, this is the Classic Metal Show. We are live as usual. This is not a pre-record.
It's not?
No.
You're right. It's not here. Here in January, you know, it's I could go on and on, but I'm not going to play the same old joke again.
Right. But, yeah, it's not a pre-record. We are live in the Classic Metal Show chat room over at chatandkill.com. So if you want to join us, pop on over, be a part of the show. And tonight on the Classic Metal Show, we have Mark Slaughter, who's promoting a solo thing, yeah?
Yeah, he is. He did a new single for it's for a charitable cause, actually, for soldiers, displaced soldiers and whatnot, and we'll talk to him about that. And we have the single, so Mark's an old friend of both yours and mine.
Yeah.
So
Mark was my very first in studio guest when I was first got into radio way back in 90. I think it was when did Revolution come out? 97 or 98?
Right in that time frame, somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, well, they were out promoting that, and they were playing at Ron's Crossroads, which has, been raised since.
Mm-hmm.
And he was my first live in-studio guest when I first started the Classic Metal Show almost 20 years ago.
He's a cool dude, man. And, I've known him for a lot of years. You've known him for a lot of years. And I'll tell you what, there's other guys in Slaughter that are not so cool, but Mark is like the cool guy in that band,
yeah.
So...
He's pretty laid back, but, everybody talks about Dana Strum being a complete dick.
Yeah.
Every time I've dealt with Dana, he's always been cool to me.
I've had both ways with him. Sometimes he's okay. So I've never had a bad experience with him, but I've had a kind of a, short, gruff experience with him.
Sure.
That, hey, what's up? Get out of my face mode.
Yeah. Well...
And I get that, you go into a new city and you got a bunch of people in your fucking face. I get it. So, look at Raider, just can't sing. I always liked Slaughter. I don't care what anybody says. I liked them in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they came out in the late 80s. They were actually, I think, didn't Stick It To You come out in 90?
Maybe, but that's still the 80s.
Yeah. So it was that style of music. But I think, Stick It To You came out in 90.
Yeah, they were certainly big for a minute. Not for a real long time, but man, the first two records, they were ginormous, weren't they?
Yeah, they caught the very end of that whole 80s wave, and they were probably one of the final bands that came out of that era that actually made a splash.
I would say they were the very top end of the second tier. What do you think of that?
Look at Demon. Hi, guys. Is it live tonight?
No, it's not.
What is it with everybody? Is this live?
No, it's not.
Is it Memorex?
It's dead. It's dead like Dave Brockie. What do you think of that? Too soon?
Nice. Well, anyway, yeah, Slaughter did come out, at the top of the wave, and they were the last, as you said, one of the top tier bands, and from there it was a struggle for them through the 90s.
Yeah,
because what was the one where there's a picture of the girl with her tongue sticking out at
that would be Fear No Evil.
Yeah, that one didn't do so well.
Yeah, well, they were already off the major label at that point.
Yeah, that one didn't do
CMC.
so well, and then they came out with Revolution, and then they came out with that other one that had one of your favorite songs. What was it called? Trailer Park Boogie on it.
Trailer Park Boogie. Fuck yeah, I love that album.
What was the name of that album?
Oh Jesus! Now you're gonna really make me look stupid. I love that album so much that I don't know the name.
Yeah, I'll look it up here.
I got it. Let's see here. Slaughter Band. Yeah, it was called.
That was on Cheese Metal Records, wasn't it? CMC.
That one. All of those were. That was called Back to Reality.
Back to Reality. There you go.
Yeah, that one, Revolution, and Fear No Evil were all on CMC.
Right.
Wildlife was kick ass though. That's my. I don't know, man. I like Fear No. I love Fear No Evil, and I like that tune "Searching" a lot because Mark actually sang instead of screaming with his balls in a vice.
Right.
But man, the Wildlife had some good tunes on it, man. Do You Know, an Old Man, and there's a lot of good songs on that one.
Sure. Well, CMC. That was I think our good friend, Lon Friend, termed that as Cheese Metal Cemetery.
He did, and it's true because all those bands went there to die. That's for sure.
Well, surprisingly, who went to CMC for one record, which really just shocked me.
Who?
Leonard Skinner.
Really?
What record? I couldn't tell you the name of it, but they were on CMC for one record.
Oh, no kidding.
I was like, really? Leonard Skinner.
What album? You don't remember what album?
No, it came out in the, I want to say it was the late 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, that was Burning the Cross on the Black Man's Lawn.
Was that? What was that?
I think that's what that one was called.
But I remember that Tom, was it Tom Lipsky?
Yeah, Tom Lipsky.
Yeah, he was the guy who kind of ran that label.
Sure. I like that label personally, although, I like a lot of those records that came out on that label, but most of them are records that most of the fans of those bands hate.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Ultraphobic from Warrant.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that record. And I know every other Warrant fan out there is like, ooh, fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And I actually like Belly to Belly, which followed it. And I know most people hate that piece of shit.
That was a tough one to listen to.
I like that. AYM and stuff. There's some good songs on there.
Boy, that's a tough listen. And
I like everything, don't I?
Of course, Doc and Shadow Life was on that.
Yeah, well, that's a jewel.
That was a horrific record for CMC.
But they redeemed themselves after that because didn't also the Reb Beach one
Erase the Slate?
Yeah, that was on CMC, wasn't it?
They did redeem themselves with Erase the Slate.
Right.
That was I loved that record, Erase the Slate.
Who knew that the slate was brown and stunk?
Erase the slate and start again.
Right.
So, anyway, Mark is our only guest tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to slow down the interviews since everybody bitches about them all the time.
It's just two's too many, man. We want to hear you guys.
Yeah, well, now I'm slowing them down a little bit.
Right.
Trying to give you what you want, but still get us just enough to keep us in the news.
Right. Well, we are over the 250,000 mark on the Spreaker.
Yeah.
We broke that last Sunday.
Did we? What are we at today? Because I haven't looked.
We're at 253, almost 254,000.
Oh, so we had a pretty decent week.
Yeah, we had a 5,000 download week.
Well, that's pretty solid.
I would agree. So I enjoyed that, and then I did listen to the Shoe last night at 9:00.
I haven't heard this week's Shoe. How was that?
It was good. He did a good job with. He did a live interview with Jeff Tate.
Okay.
And he did not have shitty audio, so thank you, Shoe, for that.
Right.
It wasn't all jumbled and, like if you, I don't know what he used to record it. I'm going to assume, I'm just assuming he may have used like the Spreaker app or something.
Right.
On a cell phone. But again, he could have used a digital recorder for all I know. But at least I didn't hear a lot of this. Like handling the mic,
Sure.
You know how some of those live interviews, you can hear him handling the mic and making all kinds of noise. He didn't do that. It's a nice, clean interview.
Look at Demon in the chat room. Slowing down the interviews, meaning no one else wanted to talk to Chris other than Mark this week.
Is that what that means?
I guess.
Okay.
Sadly, that's not true. Guess who I made nice with?
The publicist that handles KXM.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Steel Panther will be back in the country this week.
Okay.
So Steel Panther's back on the table. Winger's on the table. KXM is on the table.
So how did you make nice?
Just called him, talked to him.
Okay.
Are we done with this? And we're done with that. So
okay.
And he, we did a goodwill gesture of he sent me a Steel Panther, release to put on the site, and I did, and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
You know how that works.
Sure.
So, Steel Panther coming soon.
So, because he's the publicist, he has to defend the artist?
You wouldn't think so, now would you?
Okay. I mean, it's just his job to get them out there, not be their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but whatever. Okay.
But hey, whatever. I'm happy to not have to go around anybody to get interviews. I like to just do it through the publicist. It makes it easier, gets them paid, which makes them happy with us.
And right, blah, blah, absolutely. Well, good. I'm glad to see that you've extended the olive branch and things are better again.
Things are better again.
All right, good. Good for you. All right, let me see. There was something. You've been kind of on a tear today.
Yeah, not in a real good mood, that's for sure.
So I'm not even gonna ask you to elaborate, but I did find the song you were looking for, so we'll come out of that break with that song.
Okay. Yeah, no, very simple. I can give the summary in 2 words: ex-wife.
Okay.
End of story.
All right.
I think for anybody out there, they can figure it out from there. They might not know the exact story, but they can figure it out.
And apparently, Glenn David Isley cropped up on your Facebook, huh?
He did. I wrote a pretty harsh thing, I guess.
Oh, you did post something.
Well, you saw it, didn't you?
No. All I know is that I'm writing and drinking coffee. That's all I've.
Oh well, the main post was the harsh one. The what did I write? Let me find it real quick. I wrote just in the middle of the day because I was in a funk, I guess. Where is it? There's a point where being nice is bullshit. You just want to smash someone's fucking face with a ball bat with a spike on the end of it. I'm at that fucking point. That was all I wrote, and David Glenn Isley checked in on that post.
Okay. Well. And how do you know him?
Through Facebook, really. But I know I'm a big fan of, me. I like the soft stuff, and I was a huge fan of Jafria, and he's also done some kind of stuff that my sons are into, like some video game music or something.
Okay.
So his name cropped back up into my world like 5 years ago. And I saw him one day on Facebook and just reached out to him. And, we don't talk often. It's not like he's like a friend. He's definitely a Facebook friend.
Okay.
But every now and again, I see something from him, or I was surprised that he posted on that one, but he actually jumped right in.
Wow. All right. Well, that's cool.
So there we go.
Right. Well, good. Other than that, everything else well with Mr. Aiken outside of the little bit of a tirade this morning?
Yeah. Had a good week, worked a lot, partied on Tuesday, partied on Thursday. Rest of it was work.
What's a week without a party or two? Well,
Tuesday's party was comedy night. Was definitely a comedian night.
Okay, and what did you watch?
We watched Chris Porter once again.
Love that guy, huh?
That guy's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
And then we watched Cat Williams.
Okay.
And we watched something else that we turned off that wasn't as funny, and I forget what it was. I take
it you didn't watch the Bill Burr.
Bill Burr was what we turned off, actually.
You turned that off?
Yeah, we got bored with it. After Chris Porter, back-to-back with Chris Porter, not as good.
Oh, I watched that again this morning because he was talking about the guns, getting a gun.
Yeah.
You didn't get to the part where he was arguing with his live-in girlfriend?
I did. I just, after Chris Porter, he was a letdown.
Oh, okay.
After him, he was a letdown.
You need to watch that Tom Segoya.
Dude, I'm all in on the comedy now. I'm checking them all out.
Good.
But we went, after that one, we went to Cat Williams, The Pimp Chronicles. That's fucking hilarious. I actually got my daughter free tickets to go see him last night, so she went and saw Cat Williams last night.
Look at you. He was in town, huh?
Yeah, he was in town last night. 75 and 125 for tickets.
I thought he got into some kind of trouble with the law, didn't he? Just like recently?
Or he went crazy, like kind of Dave Chappelle style or something, but apparently he's back.
Okay. I thought he got into some trouble and he wasn't going to do comedy anymore. And
no. Trust me, I heard 10,000 people showed up last night to see him.
Really?
So,
nice.
Dude, I would have never thought that he was that fucking big. But, and I heard the show was really good. So we watched that, and I don't know if you've ever watched that Pimp Chronicles.
Yes, I did. I watched it. It's been up on the Netflix.
That is fucking funny as shit.
Right.
And then we watched a non-funny one to close it out, that Daniel Tosh.
Which one? Which one did you watch?
I don't know what it was called, but he was like on a stage with a bunch of candles, big candles on the stage.
Okay.
Not funny.
Yeah.
I don't find him funny at all.
Really?
I literally sat there not laughing for 45 minutes.
Sure.
Maybe 2 laughs in 45 minutes. I did not find him funny at all.
Really? Well, how about that?
But yeah, so we did comedy on Tuesday. And then Thursday, my girl Kelly came over and we did cooking and shots.
Okay, cooking and shots.
Cooking. We cooked. I cooked some food. Like we combined to cook some food, and then immediately she brought a bottle of Fireball with her, and we just sat around bullshitting and drinking Fireball all night.
Sure.
Fun.
Wow. Now look in the chat room. My good friend Sammy Lee of the band Red Rain popped in.
Oh, God. Does that mean that we got to listen to that fucking music again? I mean, that's cool, dude. It's awesome.
I thought you were going to review their CD.
Dude, I have a list of like 50 CDs to review, and it's about 2 back right now. I still have to throw the Steel Panther up in front of it, which is almost written, and then his record is there.
Right.
It'll get reviewed probably this week, maybe next week, but I was writing today. I was writing on the new Gamma Ray and the new Sebastian Bach, and which we can play, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll have to get it off the other computer.
Okay, because that fucking record. Now that we could talk about that, how good is that fucking record?
Excellent.
Jesus Christ. I say that is the very, very best record that he has done solo, and second only to Slave.
Right.
In music that he's put out.
Sure.
Fucking great record, man.
Excellent.
Can't believe it.
Well, when he did that Angel Down and he was all bent out of shape about the downloading and not selling 1 million copies, and
yeah,
I got all these MySpace friends, and if everybody on MySpace would buy 1 copy, I could sell 500,000. And
yeah,
what are you people doing? How come you're my MySpace friend but you won't buy my record?
Right.
Remember that whole tirade? And I'm done with making records and screw it because nobody's buying them, and why should I bust my ass just to have it downloaded? And everybody wants to be my MySpace friend, but you guys won't buy my CD. And
yeah,
and then he's put out this is his third one since, or second one since?
Second one. He put out Kicking and Screaming after. Well, he put out Apocalypse Now, the live one,
right?
And then he put out Kicking and Screaming, and now Give 'Em Hell.
Yeah, so this is technically the third release since his little tirade, and he's gotten better and better on each release.
Dude, it's funny that you brought that up because literally I opened my review with exactly that. Listen to this. I just pulled it up right now.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't read it.
Listen, it seems like every time Sebastian Bach releases new music, the first thought that comes to mind is this dude comes off like a douchebag a lot in interviews, but he just kicks ass musically.
Right.
Right from the top. Same thing you're talking about.
Sure.
And he really does. I hate that he comes off like such a douche, in interviews a lot of the time.
Right.
And it bothers me even more because the interactions that we've had with him have been great.
Right.
I don't know about you. I mean, you've had good interactions with him too, haven't you?
I've hung out with him. I hung out with him last summer very briefly over in, where was it, Illinois, when Dawkin had that potential plane problem.
Yeah.
And I was outside the hotel, and he was there talking with Don. And I'm telling you what, dude, for the guy, I think he's only like 48.
Okay.
Oh, he looks wretched close up.
Skeletor or the other way?
No. Just the skin. He just looks beat up, and the harshness of life has really set in on him.
Well, I know in the pictures that I see online, and I'm hardly one to judge anybody because I look wretched in real life too, but he's got that drunken, bloated face.
Yeah, that's what was going on there.
Yeah, he definitely looks like drunken, bloated face guy.
It's funny. He's got, when he was standing out there, he has the stilt legs. Then he's got the beer gut.
Right.
And then he's got the bloated head and the long hair, and then the tone of his skin just looks gray.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It just beat the hell up, and it's just like, Jesus, dude, really?
And what's funny is these guys with the beer gut now, how they don't want to completely lose the rock coolness, so they put on the vest. Him and Tate,
right?
They put on the vest like that's somehow a better look. That just makes you look fatter. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
That makes you look fatter than cutting up a T-shirt and throwing a T-shirt on underneath it. You can put on a fucking XXX if that's what you need.
Right.
Put on a big T-shirt, cut it up, you'll look thin.
Sure.
But no, they go with the tight vest.
Right.
What are you thinking, man? You look like fucking Santa Claus without sleeves.
Well, maybe we got to send him a copy of the interview he did with Rockin' Randy and remind him how he used to go running 5 miles a day.
And now he hasn't gone running 5 miles in 5 years. Chris Holmes needs a vest.
He does. Oh, I think he does. He wears the jean vest.
Yeah, he does wear a vest, now that I'm thinking about it.
He wears the sawed-off jean vest.
It's funny.
Wow, that's sad. And the thing is these guys are not technically that old.
Mm-mm.
So.
But you know what, though, dude? And I say this without any kind of disrespect to any of them, but that road life, that beats the piss out of all these guys.
Well, you got to lay off the booze.
Well, but they don't.
I know, that's the problem.
None of them do. They have to see. You're saying it like that's like an option, but that's an option for me and you,
right?
Who can, put it aside and watch TV and chill out. These fuckers have nothing to do.
Yeah,
they have nothing to do for 20 hours a day.
So they got to just sit there and drink.
So they just drink because that's free to them. That's the same kind of free as us turning on our TV.
Right.
It really is. And dude, look at, not bashing anybody. They were all nice guys, but outside of Carlos Cavazo, did any of those guys that we saw last summer look fucking really healthy?
I thought Warren looked okay.
Yeah, he looked okay, but he didn't look great.
Yeah.
And I guess Sean did, but that's because he's trying for his acting gig.
Sure.
He keeps himself in perfect shape.
Oh, yeah, you don't see him guzzling booze and stuff.
I think does he even drink?
No, he's an AA guy.
Is he? Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen him drink.
Yeah, that's one of the things that was driving Don nuts about him is that he was giving him the whole AA speech thing.
Oh, well,
dude,
yeah.
you need to cut back, and you need to stop with the drinking, and here's a pamphlet, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like, dude, go play bass. Seriously, I love you and all, but go play bass.
Oh, God, that's hysterical.
Put your high voice where mine used to be.
Right,
go.
Right. So great.
That's funny.
All right, well, speaking of drinking,
yeah,
I think it's time to start the drinking.
Well, I beat you to that one. So,
well, I'm drinking water. I usually drink water through the first half of the show, and then I break out the adult beverage later in the evening.
Well, I was actually not planning to drink tonight because my son was going to be going out for his first ever drinking experience tonight.
Oh, that's right. It was his birthday, right?
Tomorrow's
his birthday.
Midnight, he turns the big 2-1.
Wow.
So he was planning on it, but the snowstorm quelled his plans.
There's a snowstorm going on over there?
Unfucking believable, dude. Yeah, there is a snowstorm here.
It's supposed to be like 55 tomorrow and like in the 60s on Monday.
Yeah, we're supposed to get 3 to 6 tonight.
Really?
And then ice tomorrow.
Wow.
Fucking sucks. I hate this fucking weather.
I think it's time to pack it up, my friend.
Dude, and you know what makes it worse? A lot of our friends from the CMS are on the fucking cruise ship right now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And speaking of that was the other thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Since our good friend Ron Keel is on the cruise ship, yours truly will be taking over I've been handed the keys to the streets of rock and roll this week.
Are you gonna ride in the fast lane and whatever other bad fucking pun I could write?
I did not use any cliches.
Yeah, because you didn't want me to fucking bring it to the show.
Well, it didn't even occur to me to do that.
I don't know what I was thinking that one time.
That's hysterical.
That was so bad. Yeah, we're going down a one-way street here on the streets.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible.
But I liked the title that you gave that segment on the show, Crashing on the Streets of Rock and Roll.
It was true, dude. It was a fucking and what's funny is Ron actually emailed me after that segment came out for us.
Yeah.
And what the hell, Demon?
Jeez.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Lord. But anyway, Ron emailed me right after that segment. He was like, I didn't think it was bad at all.
Oh, my God.
He's like, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah. Well, I guess for the typical listener, it was a good show. But for us, that's the kind of stuff we don't.
Yeah.
It's the cheesiness.
Yeah, I know. It was like, it really was not our best work.
Right. But this coming Wednesday, will be my debut on the streets of rock and roll, and I'm bringing our good friend Nader the Priest along for the ride.
Nice. That'll be cool.
So Wednesday, Ron Keel's Streets of Rock and Roll. I'll be hosting that this week.
Well, everybody needs to give that a listen here. I'm not sure. Is that when it's going to debut? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday. I think that's when the new episodes go up, right?
I'm going to guess.
It's the 2nd of April. I'm
going to guess that it's going to be Thursday or Friday.
Oh, really?
The only reason is because Ron's on the boat.
Okay.
So he's not going to, I'm going to guess he's not going to upload it until Wednesday or until Thursday when he gets off the boat.
All right. Well, I'm just making the assumption.
But that's a total guess. I could be wrong.
Right.
So start looking for it Wednesday. And then, and you'll find it eventually. And I'm sure we'll be tearing it down here on the show anyway.
Right. All right, dude. Well, let's get into some tunage here. You wanted to hear some David Glenn Isley. I guess this is what is the project here? This is Dirty White Boy?
Dirty White Boy is the band. It was a one and done. But I love this record. I like this record better than any of the other stuff that he did with Jafria, for sure.
Okay.
This was just a meatier, ballsier record. And it's just a cool record, man. It's one of those that almost no one remembers except me, but loved it when it came out, played the shit out of it when it came out. So, and this was my favorite tune on it.
Okay. Well, we're going to play a couple of tunes. We'll be back with Mark Slaughter here shortly. And get yourself a drink, hang out, come into the chat room, chatandkill.com, and send us an email, request at theclassicmetalshow.com, and we'll just go from there. So here it is. This is Dirty White Boy featuring David Glenn Isley, and this is called Lazy Crazy, exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.